you found $100 on the street, would you pick it up or would you keep walking? Of course you would take the money. So why do you keep picking winners and not betting on them? Go to MyBookie. It's fast, it's easy, and they pay you when you win. Let's face it, where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on. Do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this football season, bet with MyBookie. Did you know you could bet on games after kickoff? If by the second half it looks like your bet is going to lose, you can always just take the other side. If you're the kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot, try a parlay. If all your picks come through, you multiply your winnings, and no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of year. Join now, and MyBookie will double your first deposit. Use promo code BLUEWIRE to activate the offer. That's promo code BLUEWIRE. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid.
Blue Wire.
Kirk Cousins, he's going to be a Minnesota Viking. This was the right call.
Cousins, pressure, hit as he throws, going for Thielen. He's got it! Touchdown! Oh my Diggs, stay up! Oh my God! 30, no way! Touchdown! It's a Minneapolis Miracle!
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. We are part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at Bleeding Podcast. My name is Tyler Haig. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. Hey, buddy.
What's up? Ready for some football tonight?
Football is here, finally. We are going to continue our 2019 Vikings preview. First, we should say, I hope the Packers lose.
I hope both of them lose and they fall underground.
That's incredible. That could
way,
not have said it better.
Only
myself.
have to worry about the Lions for the rest of the year.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
2019 preview. We left off, we kind of finished up with the offense last episode. Let us discuss the defense. Some notable 53 roster blah, 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 blah on defense. Hercules made it. Exciting. Hercules Mataafa. If you're not familiar, you haven't really been listening to our podcast.
Him with another Hercules.
Some other Hercules that maybe they...
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Sorbo. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the defense. Big questions going into 2019. Yay for Hercules making the team. Who else made the team on defense that maybe wasn't going to?
Fedi Odenigbo.
Thank you. That was the other one I was looking for.
Chris Boyd. He made it.
Holton Hill as well was also.
Yeah, but he's suspended.
So it doesn't. Not that matters, but yeah, he counts.
Yeah, there weren't really too many surprises. Cantrell brothers made it again.
Mm-hmm. Harris
Ben Gideon.
Yep, Gideon again.
Jaron Curse.
Some big questions leading into 2019 for the defense. To me, the most interesting, and I think it would really change the defense for the better if he could return to form. Everson Griffen. If Everson Griffen can get back to the Everson Griffen that he was before all the stuff happened off the field last year, the defense is going to be better. Can he return to form? Do you expect that from him?
Everything that we've heard so far is that he's back to the old Everson. That's what Mike Zimmer has said. That's what his coaches have said. That's what his teammates have said. So that would lead you to indicate that he's got a pretty good chance of being a lot better than he was last year. I think he's obviously in a better state of mind.
He must be, yeah.
You know, he's probably more focused than ever on getting back to the way he was. But yeah, having him back as like a ferocious pass rusher would be great for this defense because, you know, that's what made them so good in 2017, just having him and Danielle Hunter just get to the quarterback over and over again. And I know Danielle Hunter's pretty good on his own, but having both of them at the same time, you know,
both of them at that level, really changes things.
It does a lot for the entire defense. You know, it does a lot for the linebackers, does a lot for the cornerbacks, safeties, and all that stuff. So if they can get him back to, you know, doesn't even have to be an elite level, but if he's a Pro Bowl level would be fine.
Yeah.
I did see, though, that the Vikings might try and do more of a rotation this year. Maybe have Weatherly in there on third downs or earlier downs and have Griffen in there on third downs and stuff like that, just to keep him more fresh throughout the year, because he is getting a little older.
He is.
I think I've seen him wearing an elbow brace this preseason.
Which is what old people do, wear braces.
Yeah, I mean, J.J. Watt's worn that for like his entire career, so I don't know how much that really matters.
Yeah.
It might just be a precautionary thing to do these days.
Extension precaution.
Yeah. But he seems like he's pretty close to being back to the old Everson, and that would be really great for the Vikings defense this year if he can be that crazy monster of a pass rusher out there.
Yeah, it would help the defense tremendously, and you got to think from Griffin's perspective, like you said, he's in a much better mindset, and then also knows in the back of his mind that if something like this happens again, they nailed it. The Vikings did, with the way they handled that situation, with the way that they supported him, with the way that they gave him space when he needed it, the way they quote unquote protected him from the media. They did a very good job, and that has to help him get to a better place mentally, which of course will help get him to a better place on the football field. Like you said, if they have Hunter and Griffen playing at a high level, changes everything for the defense. They really, 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 really are really tough to handle when that's going on. I
really think the Brian Robinson cut impacted him a lot last year. He was like his best friend, and having someone like that just not be in the locker room every day has a big impact on a football player.
100%, or a person in general. Never mind football, but if you just lose something like that at work, that will affect you and affect your performance as well. So
I mean, these guys see their teammates more than their families for most of the football season. So
true that. It is important.
Yeah,
they are basically.
Can't blame him.
Moving on, another big question. Barr. Anthony Barr was going to go to a different team, decided to take less money to come back to this team.
Because the Jets are horrible.
Because the Jets are weird, man. They got the coach with the weird...
bug eyes.
Yeah, it's all weird. All weird over there. Barr comes back. Will he make a significant step forward, or do we expect him to kind of do the Barr thing and just do the Barr thing some more? Will he take a leap? Will he take a significant step forward at any time? Do you foresee that in this young man's career?
I hope so. I hope he can just be solid, really. I don't want him to get complacent and feel like, oh, he's made it now. He got the big contract, so he can just chill out. I was kind of surprised he didn't play extremely well last year in a contract year. I figured he'd probably play better than he did. I hope he doesn't get to that. I don't think he will. I don't think he's that kind of player. I think Mike Zimmer might have woken him up a couple years ago, and he told the public that he was coasting. I know that Barr didn't like that, but if it was the truth, sometimes you need to hear that to realize that you got to fix how you go about things. So I think he'll be fine. I think he's a big part of this defense, and I think with him not being on the field, I think people would realize how big of a part of a defense of the defense he actually is.
100%. I think you just nailed it there. I don't think that he will necessarily take a big step forward, but I think his absence on that defense would have been felt in a very big way. So I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad they don't have to try and replace him. But yeah, I don't really expect him to be I got my money, now I'm going to work really hard to be like an epic Hall of Fame level, all-pro talent.
He could.
Well, and that's not to say that
he won't.
100%. That's not to say he won't get there, but I don't think that switch is going to flip where he's like, I'm going to put in the work now, if that was an issue before. Because I don't know if he's coasting or not or whatever, but if your coach is talking about it and your level of play seems to have basically, I don't want to say plateaued, but he hasn't really dipped or peaked in any real way besides his rookie season when he was making the big splash plays and everybody was very excited about this kid.
His rookie year, second year, he was making plays all over the field, and then they disappear.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did knock Aaron Rodgers out.
And
so.
he still is a solid football player and great to have, but he just isn't the kind of guy who's going to have a million takeaways, and he's not going to Khalil Mack you to death. He's going to be a solid linebacker on your team, and that's good, and that's what we want. But yeah, I don't foresee him becoming like
I think
smokes.
People are might be his draft status. Obviously, has to do a lot with how people view how he's performed, because he was a top 10 pick.
Yes, he was.
So whenever that happens, you're expected to perform at the highest level possible every year.
Yeah.
So, and he's not terrible. He's not average. He's definitely above average. He's not amazing. He can be amazing. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
We will see.
He's got the potential to have a very good year, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I feel like the margin of error, the difference between him having a great year and him having a good year is basically a couple of takeaways, because he's going to consistently be a good football player for this defense. Another consistently good football player for this defense when he's on the field, assuming he's not taking one play off because he's a little bit hurt, is Xavier Rhodes. He had kind of a rough year last year.
For him, yeah.
For him, that's what. Thank you. Not a rough year in general, just not a all-pro shutdown corner kind of year. Can he rebound to all-pro shutdown corner? They never throw to his side of the field or whomever he is matched up against type of corner. Do you expect that from him this year?
I mean, he's going to have the opportunity to show that really, really fast.
Yes, he will.
Early in the year, because his first 4 matchups, I believe, are Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown, and who else? I can't remember who the Vikings play fourth, but those 3 alone.
Yeah, that's a good list for guys you're going to have to
But
play.
he's done well. He's done well against Julio Jones in the past.
Has an amazing track record against all of those guys, if I'm not, or the ones he's faced.
Last time they met, I think Julio Jones had 2 catches for 24 yards. So
was visibly frustrated, was he not?
Yeah, pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's done well against Antonio Brown. Devontae Adams, I think those two have gone back and forth, with who's gotten the best of each other. But I think Xavier Rhodes has still done pretty well against him. I think Adams might have caught a touchdown or 2. But yeah, if he's gonna get back to that level, he's gonna have to do well in those games. I think he's definitely capable of getting back to that level. I think he admitted and Zimmer admitted that he might have just gotten away from some technique stuff last year, and he's been working on that and just getting back to the fundamentals, as people like to say. And I think he probably heard a lot of the noise last year too of people saying that he wasn't as good as he should be, so that'll probably motivate him this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is the thing too. To expect a guy to play at that level year in and year out, I mean, that's Hall of Fame stuff that we're talking about there. So for him to have a year where he wasn't that, not the end of the world. But like you said, I think he's very capable of doing that again. And if this is what he needed to kind of knock him back into that role, so be it. We'll take it. Sounds great.
Yeah, gotta stay healthy.
100%. And that to me is
we can end every sentence like
yeah. I was saying we could end every single bit about this. Yes, for sure. But yeah, do I expect him to be an all-pro and do the same thing that he was doing in years past? This one, I actually do kind of expect that from him because he does have that talent level, and we have seen that from him previously. Will Anthony Harris repeat his very decent performance from last season? Of course, he had to step in and play kind of out of necessity, but played well. And do you think he can do that again? I think he can.
I mean,
I hope he can.
I mean, he's progressed. I think every year he's been with the team, so there's no reason to think that he can't do that again and get to that next level. He's playing with one of the best safeties in the NFL,
if not the best,
with Harrison Smith back there. So you like to think that the other guy can do well. That wasn't really the case with Sendejo. But I like Anthony Harris better than Sendejo. Harris is better. I feel like he's a better tackler, better in pass coverage. He doesn't, take those super risky headshots that Sendejo used to frequent. But no, I think he's gonna be good for this defense. I think he's in a contract year too, so he might have a little extra motivation to do well this year and get a nice little payday next year.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, there's nothing to lead us to believe that he won't continue progressing, because every year we've seen him, he's gotten better and played up to whatever they needed him to play, which is a great sign for
at the same time,
especially a dude going into a contract.
They've got a very good backup behind him in Jaron Kearse. So
who might be deserving of more snaps.
Yeah, I think Jaron Kearse is going to get more snaps, whether it's starting or not this year.
Yeah,
especially with Holden Hill and Mike Hughes, not being able to play during the early portion of the year. I definitely think they're going to use Jaron Kearse more of those nickel packages and dime packages. Because he looked great in the preseason. So
yeah, he really did. He was one of the standouts for me too. Is he really looks like he's ready to be a big part of the defensive secondary.
And I think he's in a contract year, so he's going to be trying to get that next contract, which plays pretty well. He probably gets good money next year.
Definitely, and if not from the Vikings, from somebody else.
Oh,
for sure. Do you think this defense, kind of wrapping up the defensive preview here, do you think the Vikings defense can return to that, like, maybe we need to have a conversation about the 85 Bears territory? I mean, that's a long ways to go, but can they return to that elite level, like one of the top 5, top 3 defenses in the NFL this season? Do you think?
Yeah. I think last year they just got unlucky with a lot of injuries. And
non-injury stuff like the
with the Everson
Griffen stuff. Yeah, and that throws your stuff out of whack, man.
And they lost Mike Hughes earlier in the season with the ACL. I think Trey Waynes and Xavier Rhodes missed a couple games. Joseph was hurt for most of the season. He played hurt for most of the season, so he wasn't his normal self. And Sheldon Richardson, he played pretty well, but I don't think he was maybe what the Vikings were expecting when they brought him in. They expected him to maybe boost that defensive line to another level, and I don't know if that necessarily happened last year.
I think you're right. I would agree with that.
And I think that having Shamar Stephen in there actually is probably a better fit for this defense than Richardson was, because Stephen's more of he can get to the quarterback, every now and then, but he's more of a run-stopping guy, and I think the Vikings missed that last year with their defense. They were not that great at stopping the run, especially on third down. I think they gave up a lot of third down conversions, and that was a big strength of theirs in 2017. Like, they gave up like 25% or something like that.
Yeah, didn't they have the NFL record for least for like whatever conversion percentage they're done?
They have the talent. I think it all starts up front with the defensive line. Joseph can get back to playing like he did in 2016, 2017 when he went to the Pro Bowl. And Griffen can get back to a level where he's maybe 10 sacks for him this year. They definitely still have all the talent, and Danielle Hunter's going to be even better. Kendricks is going to be good. Mackenzie Alexander is going to be better.
Harrison
Smith is going to be fine. Like, they still have so much talent. It's just staying healthy, and then if that can happen, then there's no reason to think that they can't be a top 5 defense again this year.
100%. Completely agree with you. Moving on to the goofiest part of this football team, the special teams. But first, let's talk about ShipStation.com. When you're selling online, getting your orders out can be a pain. That's why you need ShipStation.com. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders, no matter where you're selling. Amazon, Etsy, your own website. ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface. They help you get orders out quickly, save money on shipping costs, and keep your customer happy. customers happy. And right now, Blue Wire listeners can try ShipStation for free for 60 days. Use promo code BLUE, BLUE. There's absolutely no risk. You can start your free trial without even entering your credit card info. ShipStation works with all of the major carriers, USPS, FedEx, UPS, even Amazon Fulfillment, so you can compare and choose the best shipping solution for you and your customers. No wonder ShipStation is the #1 choice of online sellers. You'll ship more in less time with the best rates available. Visit ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in BLUE. ShipStation.com, promo code BLUE. ShipStation.com, make ship happen. How do you preview something that is this? I don't know what I don't know what to expect here, but how long do you think the leash on Dan Bailey is? If Dan Bailey misses a few kicks early, do you think they get rid of him right away, or do you think they let him kind of ride it out?
Well,
I can tell you what I expect them to do. Maybe no.
They might give him a longer leash than they did with Daniel Carlson because he's a veteran.
Yeah.
But they do have a kicker on the practice squad. Still don't know his name, so he's that good.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are at least prepared, I think, for a change to be made this year. If there has to be one, because Dan Bailey hasn't been. I know he's like one of the most accurate kickers ever in NFL history or whatever, but the past 2 seasons that hasn't been the case.
No.
Whether it's been he's been hurt or holder problems or whatever, it just hasn't been as accurate as he was, during his first couple of years with the Cowboys. So, you know what? I'll just go out on a limb. I think he's going to last the whole year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hot
I think with
take.
the new they got the new punter in there. He's got a lot of holding experience. He seems to be, pretty good at what he does.
That
Been
is
doing it a long time.
That is a very,
long
very
snapper.
serious prediction, my friend.
Listen, I talked to someone close to me who has experience kicking at the NFL level, and he just stressed like the continuity of the long snapper and the punter and the kicker as being like one of the most important things that you need to have. And I think the Vikings, Mike Zimmer needs to realize that and just stick with these guys. If Bailey misses like 9 kicks in 3 games, then okay, fine.
Yes.
But if he's missing like 1 kick a game and he makes 1 or 2 more, then I'm not gonna be like, let's get rid of him.
Totally.
He doesn't have to be perfect. I think Mike
he's
Zimmer's expectations are you have to be perfect, and if not, then you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
He's got to lower that a little bit.
I think you're right.
A lot of it.
I would agree. I think he should hang on to him unless he's making 30% of his kicks. If he's missing more kicks than he's making, okay, maybe we can talk about it. But until it's that point, if he's missing 1 field goal a game and making 2 kicks a game and making the extra points, just leave it alone. It's going to be fine. Please don't shake it up again. But yeah, I don't think they're going to give him much of a leash. I think they're going to, if he misses early, I think they're going to get rid of him and move on and keep doing the same stupid thing.
I don't care if he misses extra points too, because that's 1 point. Mm-hmm. If you can't win a game because someone missed a kick for one point, that's not on the kicker. That's on the rest of the team for not putting more points on the board.
Yeah. You can be frustrated that he's not making the kicks, but yeah, if you're losing by a field goal and it's all extra points, and there's bigger issues to discuss. I would agree with that. It's going to be different this season on special teams, especially in the return game, because we've been very used to seeing the same dude back there. He's not going to be back there anymore. Do you think the return game is going to be an issue without Marcus Sherrills being a punt returner? And, kick return, whatever, but punt return seems like it could be an issue. Do you expect it to be an issue?
If he doesn't come back, because he is a free agent now.
Really? I did not know that.
He had an injury settlement with the Saints, so Marcus Sherrills is back on the market.
OMG.
So, I don't think we'd be surprised if he re-signed with the Vikings, especially if they don't feel too comfortable about their guys back there. So he might be back.
Honestly, I would maybe expect him to be back because they didn't ever seem to have it really solidified. I don't even think they know right now who's going to do it. Yeah, exactly.
I think Abdullah is probably going to start off as the kickoff returner.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some fumbling problems in the past.
True.
So, hopefully that doesn't happen this year and they give easy points to their opponents because Mike Zimmer loves that. And then at punt returner, I don't know if it's going to be Abdullah or Chad Beebe or BC Johnson. So I don't know how I feel about the return because it's always been so like you don't have to worry about it.
I was never concerned.
There.
Yeah,
Patterson is back there. You don't have to worry about it. Even before that, I was like Percy Harvin's back there.
Yeah, there's never really an issue, especially from a turnover standpoint. It's been a long time since we've been worried about turnovers on punt returns. Yeah. So, from that angle, I'm not as confident in it, but I would not be surprised at all now hearing that about Marcus Sherrills.
Didn't Adrian Peterson return kicks for like a little bit?
For
like
a little
as a
bit.
Rookie, I feel like?
Yeah, but I feel like that was more when they were like, hey, return this for a touchdown so we can win this game. I don't think he was the dude that was back there in the first quarter or whatever. I think it was late in the game when they would do that to him. Because I remember him returning a kick at one point too, a kick off, and bringing it to the 50-yard line because he was Adrian Peterson. Yeah. Did he make the team, by the way? He's still playing football, Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, he's opening the season as the backup, though. Uh-oh.
He's not going to like that.
Someone's not going to be happy.
Nope, he's not going to like that.
He's not even number 2.
That'll take. Ooh,
he's number 3, I think, behind Darius Geis and Chris Thompson.
That is not going to go over well at the Adrian Peterson household.
It's the Redskins. What could go wrong?
Yeah, right. Nope, it's not going to be a big deal. Anything else on special teams you would like to mention before we wrap up our 2019 season preview? That's kind of the last little bit. We did the offense last time.
I just think it was just a whole circus this offseason with the kicker and the holder and the long snapper. Like, why couldn't you had all this time before training camp to get sorted out? Like, these guys couldn't go figure this out like on their own on the practice field, figure out who's the best guy for the job. You couldn't figure it out in minicamp and stick with one guy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to have it come down to the 4th preseason game where we pretty much already knew that Bailey was probably going to be the guy.
Yeah.
But
there are so few times with this football team, maybe franchise, I guess is a way to say it, but especially with the Mike Zimmer regime, where I look at what they're doing and I think I could maybe have done a better job with that. This is one example of that, is this special teams thing. I might have been able to handle this better than the coaching staff and front office did.
They haven't really been good at handling special teams ever since Mike Zimmer got there.
100%. And now that's not to say it's going to be bad, but this was a disaster this offseason.
That he might have something to do with it. So
hard to imagine otherwise, right? Enough about special teams. Let's talk about special razors. Harrys.com/Blue Wire is one way to get incredible razors. 10 million people have tried Harry's. Harry's founders were 2 regular guys tired of getting ripped off and paying for overpriced razors. They make quality, durable blades at a fair price, just $2 per blade. If you don't love your shave, let them know and they'll give you a full refund. This summer, refresh your wallet and your face with a trial set. Comes with a weighted ergonomic handle, a 5-blade razor with lubricating strip, rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. Listeners of Bleeding Purple Podcast can redeem their trial set at harrys.com/Blue Wire. Make sure you go to harrys.com/Blue Wire and redeem their offer and let them know that we sent you to help support the show. Well, let's get into the bleeping week 1 preview. Hooray! Football! Regular season. That was
and a Sunday game at what? Noon Central for you guys.
Beautiful.
Minnesota, 10 o'clock for me.
Gorgeous. 10 o'clock. That's a little bit early.
It's not early. You're up. You got kids.
Oh, yeah. I'm well up way before that. Yeah. 6:30 ain't early for me, man.
Yeah.
Early for football. Yeah. It's at home. It starts at noon. It's on Fox. They play Atlanta. What do you expect? What do you expect to see from the Vikings on offense, I guess, is maybe a good place to start?
I want to see how balanced on offense they are. If they struggle, running the ball, if they stick to it, they don't do what they did last year and put the offense on Kirk Cousins' back. But I don't think they'll have that problem because the Falcons, for some reason, haven't had a good defense the past couple of years, even though Dan Quinn is supposed to be a defensive coach.
Guru, yep.
So I think they were 25th last year in points allowed, and they were the bottom of the league in passing yards allowed, bottom of the league in rushing yards allowed. So, and I don't think they made too many improvements during the offseason.
Yeah.
So I think the Vikings have the potential to do pretty well on offense. Defense definitely going to be tougher going against Matt Ryan.
For sure.
Devonta Freeman. I think in week 1, everyone's healthy pretty much. Julio Jones will be out there. Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley. They got a lot of weapons. But at the same time, the Falcons have never beaten the Vikings since Mike Zimmer became the head coach. I think Matt Ryan's thrown for 4 interceptions. Julio Jones hasn't scored a touchdown in those games.
Yes.
So
that
Mike Zimmer knows this group of players pretty well, and he's had success against them. So
yes.
I
feel like I might be being misled a little bit by previous successes, but that's what's coming up in my brain is that, Julio Jones is going to be a problem because we have Rhodes is going to shut him down and blah, blah. So maybe I'm overconfident from that side of things, but I have a lot of confidence in this defense. And anytime they've played, like you said, anytime they've played Atlanta with Zimmer, it's gone pretty well for the Vikings. So I expect them to do well. Are there any players that you are looking forward to seeing? Is there anything else that you are looking forward to watching during this football game, Adam? Any storylines?
I want to see, obviously you want to see Dalvin Cook. See, how much work they give to him if they mix in other guys or they give him most of the workload.
To me, that's the biggest story is how many touches does Dalvin Cook get in that first game? Because that will tell us a lot about what their plan is going forward and whether or not it's sustainable, I guess, is the way I want to word it.
Yeah. Want to see the offensive line, obviously. See how they do in their first game together in this new offense. I don't expect a whole lot from Irv Smith, but it'd be nice to maybe see him, get involved. See Kyle Rudolph because he's entering the prime of his career. That's what he said this year. And then on defense, see what they do with the defensive line. If it's going to be just 4 guys, the whole 3 downs, or they switch in for pass rushing situations, get Mata in there or Weatherly or whatever.
The defensive line rotation is going to be something to watch going forward because they've told us repeatedly that they want to do this rotation stuff, but every year they get a couple of games in and either get an injury or don't like the performance and they totally abandon it and they stick with the same 4 guys. And then at the end of the season, we're talking again about how the defense is kind of worn down. That to me is one of the most important storylines of 2019 is do they actually implement that and does it or will it actually help them later on in the season?
Yeah,
so
I think
that's something I'll be watching for as well.
That might be why they kept so many defensive linemen this year. They
You'd
kept
hope
10
so,
guys so they can maybe stay fresh. I'm just looking forward to there being a game that means something.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited about it.
I think the Vikings have never lost in home openers at US Bank Stadium.
That's probably true.
It hasn't been open that
for very long. Yeah. They only
They
had 1 or 2.
beat what? The Packers
In the opening one, and then
and the Saints.
Yeah.
And what was last year? Can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I feel like they won.
Oh, 49ers.
Yeah, yes.
Yep. So they've never lost in a home opener at US Bank Stadium. So Sunday they will. But no.
What?
No, I, as much as the Vikings defense is expected to be good and their offense should do pretty well, I still expect it to be competitive just because both teams are healthy. And it'll probably just come down to turnovers.
100%.
Usually
Three-point spread because there's
week
a home
one.
team
Week
and
one's
week
weird
one.
too.
It's tough.
The
Yeah.
first month of the season's weird. Patriots do horrible, and then they go and win the Super Bowl.
Everything has to get.
Weird.
It's like there's a shuffling that has to take place, and then once everything settles, you can get. But it's always that first month there are always teams that you think are going to be great that aren't. There are always teams that you expect to be bad who play better than they're supposed to, and once that all shakes out, it'll be a lot easier for us.
If the Vikings lose, it could go off the rails pretty fast because they got to go on the road and play the Packers and go on the road and play the Bears and in that first month of the year. So
it could get ugly early.
I don't want to say
well.
this is a must-win because it's
the first game
one.
of the season. I won't let you say it's a must-win game with the first game of the season.
Just like the Super Bowl is a must-win, this game's a must-win too.
Yeah. Would you like to give a prediction on the score, my friend?
Sure, why not? Let's go 27-21. Vikings.
27-21 Vikings for Adam. My goal this year is to actually keep track and keep a record and go back and see if we were right or wrong. I am going to go 24-10 Vikings.
Ooh, blowout.
Yep, because I just don't.
I want to get back to that too. I want to get to those games being a blowout for the Vikings, like those win by 10. Be like, oh, that's a blowout.
Win by 10 is a blowout in the NFL, isn't it?
Well, like, remember in 2017 when they'd win by like 2 touchdowns and be like, oh, that's a blowout.
Totally felt like that. No, that's a great point. Yeah. Because of the way they control the game, it can. Yeah, 10 points can feel like an insurmountable number really early on in the game. That's a great point. Yeah, and now that I have that score, I'm sticking with my score. First game of the season, 24-10. They have a good track record against Atlanta, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
But you make a great point because you're right. 2017, a 10-point win did kind of feel like an ass-whooping at times. So that makes sense. Not shockingly, we both are picking the Vikings to win.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pick them every game this year, but I probably will.
I probably will pick them every game on the podcast, and then if I'm actually putting money on something or picking something, I might do it a little bit.
Like, I don't know, they've lost 9 games, and you're like, damn it.
I can't pick them to win anymore.
But I will.
Yes, and we probably will. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Game day, what up?
Now I got to go do a fantasy draft. I'm in a league where if kickers miss an extra point, it's minus 25 points.
Yes. Oh, you're in the league.
I'm in that league. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I'm thinking about Daniel Carlson. Really am.
That's dangerous.
He's never missed an extra point.
I'm not going to give you any suggestions on the kicking game. It's just safer that way.
Justin Tucker missed an extra point last year.
They all miss extra points. It's terrifying. And when you lose games because of it, that would drive me crazy. I don't know if I could function.
Oh, it makes it fun.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so fun. Because games you're supposed to win, you don't. But yeah. Very exciting.
Kirk Cousins throws like 5 touchdowns and you still lose because Dan Bailey missed an extra point.
Yes. And that is a very realistic possibility for somebody in that league. And that is amazing. Yeah, man, football's back. I'm psyched. This is going to be great. Yeah. Do you got anything else you would like to mention? Or Skull Vikes, man. I'm thrilled. Welcome back, football. Thank you for coming back.
Football every Sunday until February.
Oh, I love it. It's some Thursdays and Mondays and Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's all of them. I love it. Not Wednesdays,
college
but
football back.
Oh, thank
Still not into
goodness.
it.
Yeah, still not really caring. The Gophers will be fun this year, though. Hopefully.
Yeah, even though they almost lost to FCS school.
A lot of expectations on these kids, Adam. They just aren't sure how to handle these expectations yet, but a win's a win. 1-0, pal. 1-0.
Hey, Syracuse won, too. They beat a guy whose head coach called the game in a hospital bed. So.
Oh, yes. I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
Yep.
Phew, yeah, we'll get into that next week. All right, bud. Go Vikes, football. Thank God. See you next